I'd like to thank the Pocahontas County Chamber of Commerce and the NRAO for sponsoring the opportunity for the community to join together and for a vision and mission that can stimulate economic growth here in Pocahontas County. On Monday afternoon, I was informed by Dr. Arthur Kraft, that he may not be able to make it this evening to make the presentation on behalf of Pocahontas Christian Academy. Sorry? Louder? Louder. Louder. Okay. All right. Because his wife is very ill and she would not be able to make the journey back home to Huntersville. So I began to fret upon the news, and I was scrambling to think of somebody else, anyone else, to make this presentation but me. So Tuesday morning, I pick up my Bible, and as I'm reading it for the first time, cover to cover, I open it up, my bookmark, and began reading from a chapter of Esther. In my New Living Testament version, chapter 4, verse 4, the Lord clearly instructed me, saying, if you keep quiet at a time like this, the deliverance and relief for the Jews will arise from some other place. But you and your relations will die. Who knows if perhaps you were made queen for just such a time as this. Later that evening, Dr. Kraft called and confirmed the fact that he was not going to be able to make it tonight. My name is Monique Grimes, and I don't have a crown, but I know the depths of what God has done in my life to prepare me for such a time as this. To be put in a position to step up and fill in tonight for the man that started over 200 Christian schools in the country and has offered his ongoing assistance to make Pocahontas Christian Academy a success. Thank you. Thank you, God, for delivering the directions and encouragement at such a time as this, and may I serve you well. The purpose of establishing and operating Pocahontas Christian Academy is to provide the opportunity to assist parents as they are directed in Deuteronomy 6:6-8, to educate their children in the ways of the Lord. The Academy's faithful staff and God-centered curriculum is dedicated to develop a spirit-filled, God-centered, spirit-filled, God-directed life for our youngest generation, so each child may reach his fullest potential to best serve their community in whichever way with their God-gifted talents. What is missing in government education today is character training. Children born since 1975 have lost out when the removal of the 10 Commandments from the walls of government school buildings. When you can't teach, you must not commit adultery. Elected leadership's behavior becomes reflective representation. When you can't teach, you must not murder. Abortion becomes acceptable. When you can't teach, you must not covet. Jealousy of what others have leads to class warfare, with the judging and tearing down of fellow mankind, and based on what material wealth they have gained. When you can't teach, you must not steal. You have manipulated taxation, IRS regulations that leads to a nation of what men declared equal in God's eyes to be divided into special interests and conquered by debt. When you can't teach, God must not misuse the name of the Lord your God. We can teach tolerance for Islamic ideology, as a Muslim proclaims killing after killing in the name of their God, Allah, instead of our children learning to reach out to lost souls and lead them to a peaceful existence through Jesus. America's foundation has its roots in religious and economic freedom. The Puritans came here to get away from religious persecution. And without adherence to dedicated self-governance, without knowledge of Christ's ways, there's no liberty to succeed to our fullest potential. 1 minute. All right. True economic stimulation comes when human character is truest to God's character. It's told in Bedford's history it was of utmost importance to the Pilgrims their children were not to be led astray. It was a disastrous first year for them. Upwards of 50% of the refugees died. But be it known that God blessed those parents in America richly, steadfast in their commitment to God and sacrificial love for children. Not one child died. Praise God. All right, this time there are 2 children I'd like to add to the presentation. Come on up and introduce yourselves. Yeah.
My name is Alexis Johnson, and I go to a Christian school in Elkins. And I personally think that Pocahontas County needs a Christian school because I believe there are a lot of parents who are not happy with what the public schools are teaching their children and they need an alternative education.
Hello, my name is Rachel Davis, and I want to go to Pocahontas County Christian School is because that God's going to be there and I love Him.
Thanks, guys. When we can teach honor your father and your mother, then you will live a long, full life in the land the Lord your God is giving you. As the Puritans honored God, our Father, and reaped His blessings, so we may begin to restore our nation that God gave each and every one of us to be a good steward of. We, at such a time as this, ask for your vote to receive the Fishbowl Grant on behalf of Pocahontas Christian Academy to assist and strengthen families, develop fishers of men, and rebuild a nation. In Jesus' name, thank you.
Amen. Questions?
Questions? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
What grades will this academy serve?
We are able to accept K through 12, and it will be depending on how many in each classroom. We will have an enrollment that's rolling applications and based on priority. We have a facility, so we're going to have to work with that structure as we have at the moment. Yes.
Where will the school or academy be located at?
All right. The Church of Nazarene, Pastor Gary Rouse has given us the use of his building for the activities of the Pocahontas Christian Academy.
In Frank.
In Frank. Did I miss that? Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, we do have a frequently asked question and answers sheet up here at the table. If anybody else thinks of anything in here and would like a quick answer, or you can come see me, call me, whatever you'd like. There are sign-up sheets on this table if you'd like to get involved tonight. And we are going to have a quick meeting after this event over at the auditorium. So we will be able to have our committee meetings, our committee presentations real quickly, and questions and answers with Mike House from the Vassar Christian Academy, and Bishop Jamie Estep from the Elkins Christian Academy.
Can I ask another question?
Yes.
What is your function in Christian Academy?
What is my personal function? Right now, I am just helping to steer the ship, so to speak. Just keeping things organized and moving towards getting the doors open in the fall or summer or whatever date we decide to open. That's what we're working towards right now. But it is for the 2015-16 school year. Grant money is going to be to help open the doors. We have a lot of expenses as far as the fees involved, just setting up different, if we need an account to set up. You're working on the legal structure right now. I was running a business, there's about 30 customers to start up with.
I didn't know we were from around here yet, but I never changed.
Materials for the classrooms, TVs, books, and all this good stuff. We don't know exactly how many children we're going to have. Some of it may actually wind up being for scholarship assistance if we have that kind of monies available beyond what the parents.
Okay, thanks, Monique. And because of the miscommunication, we don't have a sheet